Okay, here we are back in Live Alive. So we have the two really long scenarios down. I think only the near future is comparable in length. Next set of these are going to be fairly quick. An old Chinese master nearing the end of his life yearns to preserve his kung fu for future generations. With this purpose does he venture forth from his home atop Mount Aspiration, searching for a worthy successor to his legacy. Once he has gathered 3 disciples, he will subject them to relentless training to strengthen the body, enhance the reflexes, and unlock true potential. Of these 3, who will rise to the occasion and become the next Shifu?
Ha!
In time, all fades from memory. Nevertheless, for the sake of future generations, an old man labors tirelessly to preserve his legacy. A powerful martial art.
So, meet the Earth and Heart Shifu.
With a spirit unwavering as the earth, and a mind tranquil as flowing water. Yet gentle streams may surge with such strength to shatter even hardened stone. To cultivate the soul and surpass the flesh. To strive for something greater than oneself. That was his kung fu.
Hiya! It's as I feared. I've not a moment to lose. I must use what time is left to me to find and train the disciple. A young prodigy, as strong in body as young in spirit. A worthy successor to my heart.
And so it was that the Shifu began his search for a young heir. Long had it been since he last ventured down from the mountains.
And with that, we're finally in control. Pair of Keeling boots, weathered boots, pork bun, weathered garments, nothing, and a red bean bun. Couldn't read that. There's no secrets in this chapter that I know of. So right here, I'm just looking for herbs. Nothing sparkling. Oh well. I should probably pull up a list of who gives what reward. Let's assume I even know like what the rewards do, since a lot of these items, especially the consumables, are unique to their chapter. Basically, you won't find any haunches of meat outside of the caveman one. Prehistory, that is. Bird Eye Speedwell. Wow, who knew a path going up leads to the summit and the one going away from the summit leads to the village? Northeast is Yunfa. So this is where you'll find the one female character you can get the entire game. It's really weird that it's like that, but it is. Nature's Providence is the healing herb we're looking for.
I see!
Bad kitty.
That's all, then.
No more than a weed. Nature's Providence. White Clover. Here's where we fight her. Hoping I can fight the cat first.
Not quite.
No counter though.
With the ferocity of a lion. You really shouldn't. Ha! That's all, then.
More Providence. Bird Eye. And here's the first disciple.
Not so fast. An old man should know better than to walk alone in the woods. Hand over your money, quickly, or else.
I'm afraid I have nothing for you.
I am afraid I have nothing for you.
What was that?
I said I have nothing to offer. Nothing to offer that you would appreciate, that is.
That right. Don't think I'll go easy on you because of your age. In fact, I think your long life ends today!
Trying to use a variety of moves here. It's just I'm waiting for her to move. There we go.
You've marched! That's all, then.
happen? How could I lose to this fool 4 times my age?
The young would do well not to disrespect their elders, nor underestimate their skill. I must say, I'm impressed by your speed and agility. Might you consider abandoning this life of banditry, and instead, allow me to teach you my kung fu?
Piss off, old man! Although, it's going to eat at me, not knowing how you run so easily. Fine, I accept. Let's see what's so great about your kung fu. But don't misunderstand me. You're not my Shifu, and I'm not your student. Once I've learned your secrets, I'll get my revenge on you.
You've a lot of spirit, young lady.
Oh, I'm no lady. I'm Lei Kugo. And don't you forget it.
You may rest assured that I will not. It is a good, strong name, worthy of pride. But pride will lead you astray if you let it, as it did not so long ago.
Quick with the retorts, aren't you? Lead on, then. We'll see if you're as good as you say. Yeah!
Lei Kugo has become the disciple. Nature's Providence. Weed. Nature's Providence. Shepherd's Purse. And it's the bandit fortress that's ahead. That's where the chapter ends. So yes, she is the one female character you can take into the final chapter if you're inclined. As I mentioned during the demo, I want to take Samo, or Hong, I think his name is now, Hong Haka, because he can cheese a boss. Here, bandits are seeking to profit off the sickness. Okay, let me pull up the list. So if I got everything, I will have 5 Nature's Providence. Yes. Okay, White Clover, very minor heal, Red Bean Bun. Be careful, traveler. Sickness is spraying here that's sure to give an old man like you a terrible stomachache. I don't believe it. The pain's gone just like that. Thank you so much, Shifu. Please, take this. Red Bean Bun. Yoon's been acting strangely ever since his grandmother caught the sickness. How strange, I'm feeling better already. Thank you again, Shifu. Cannot thank you enough. Please take this. It's an iron walk. Some suspicious-looking folks have been hanging around the wagon yard of late. Don't believe it, the pain's gone just like that. Thank you so much, Shifu. Please take this. Pork bun. It must be tough for Yoon having to look after his grandmother by himself, especially now that she's taken ill. There are fortifying herbs that grow in the bamboo forest, which can cure the sickness, I hear. But then I've also been hearing that the forest is teeming with bandits, so... Feeling better already? Thank you, Shifu. Cannot thank you enough. Catfish Whisker. Thank you so much. My stomach wouldn't stop rumbling. Sick? No, I'm fine. I was just hungry. So, yeah. I didn't do that in the demo. And here's the final Nature's Province. Oh, strange. I'm feeling better already.
Wait, aren't you?
Sorry about that.
I thought so. You're the Shifu I've heard so much about. You have my thanks. And my apologies. That was my grandson, Yuin, who just ran through. He is a kind and considerate boy, usually. These days, though, he's not quite himself. Maybe it's just a phase. He lost his parents when he was young, and while I did my best, there's no making up for that.
Where do you think you're going?
Well, don't keep me waiting now.
Okay.
No. No! This won't do it all. You need to learn to pick your targets better. Now, get back out there and try harder! Don't just stand there! Get going!
No, I won't.
What was that?
I did what you told me to do because I was too scared to refuse. But enough is enough. I told myself it was for her. Too sick to work now, even. But these poor people, they're someone else's elders. I can't keep stealing from them.
I'll give you a chance to apologize for your disrespect.
You're not worthy of respect. I'll not live my life as a whip dog for a bastard like you.
Oh, but you will. You will learn to accept your place in this world. Now, apologize before I lose my temper.
No!
Ungrateful whelp!
Walk away, old man, if you value what little life you've got left.
Pardon me?
What do you want?
Tell me, do you believe yourself stronger than this boy?
A stupid question.
And yet, in truth, you and your associates are rather weaker.
Are you blind? Look on me, the great Sun Tzu Wen, and tell me I am not 1,000 times the man he will ever be.
I do not deny that you have an impressive physique. However, true strength is not derived from the body alone. And that is why I believe this boy to have greater potential than all of you combined.
Really? I can't see it.
Indeed. That much is plain. True strength flows from the heart.
And with that, I can finally talk again.
You've much to
This is your last chance to beg for forgiveness. Now you're making me mad! I've
was pretty quick, don't you think?
You did well.
Beano up and took their lunch.
Who is this old man?
Wait. I recognize him. Me too. He knows Kung Fu. He's the Shifu.
Him? Forgive me, Shifu! Forgive me!
Brother!
You should be proud, young man.
But how can you say that? I stole your money. Your money! Here, take it.
Thank you. Remember the strength of spirit you found today.
Wait! Wait! Please, accept me as your disciple.
What was it I had to say here? Take the second choice. I'm afraid I must decline.
I'm afraid I must decline. Tell me, do you wish to learn Kung Fu to exact revenge on those brigands?
Well...
Fear not, for you have already more than defeated them.
But... Shifu! Please, please allow me to be your disciple. Please, I implore you.
Well, if you insist.
Shifu!
You showed bravery in the face of overwhelming odds. I am sure you would grow much stronger whether I were to train you or not. For the power you seek is beyond no one. Be thee man or woman, old or young, it matters not. For it is the will to improve, to be better. Therein lies true strength.
I see.
I do not believe you have told me your name.
I'm Ewing Zhou. You won't regret this decision, Shifu. I promise you.
And with that, Yunjo has become our newest disciple. So before leaving, since we're playing for keeps, thank you so much. Must be tough for Yun having to look after his grandmother. They're fortifying herbs.
Yuling may not be the strongest or most capable candidate to carry on your legacy, but he has a good heart. So please, give him a chance, Shifu.
He has ridiculous stat growth. So, real quick, if you want to know, like, how they... Oh. If you want to know how they differ exactly... It's equipment where you can see their stats. So she has 38 speed. He's only level 1 and all of his stuff sucks for the most part, except his defenses for now. But if you put in the effort to level him up, he can hit really, really, really hard. The girl is one of the fastest characters in the game. Headband, or bandana, what you want to call him. He's pretty offensive, but I want the guy who's going to help us cheese our way through some of the annoying parts. Okay, stop there for a second. Shifu, you've returned. It's so good to see you. It's been a while since your last visit, Shifu. This one brute's been running around stirring up trouble recently. Shifu, as I live and breathe, forgive my poor hospitality, but food is scarce as gold these days.
Stop! Stop! You've got to pay for that! Quick! Someone grab him! First one to grab him gets a free meal! Aha! Caught you! Finally! Now, pay what you owe right this instant!
I can't. I don't have any money.
Oh, really? Well, we'll just have to find another way to settle this then, won't we? Oh, Shifu! This idiot's been stealing food from me since I don't know when! He single-handedly brought my business to the brink of ruin! Teach the scoundrel a lesson!
Very well, I'll see to the lad.
Very well. I'll say to the lad.
Wait. Please. Don't do this.
You could use the money you got back to pay for his food, but where's the fun in that?
Enough!
Oh, he can't use his hands.
You've marched!
And the finisher.
Wise fox, there's many secrets. That's all, then.
Such strength.
That was incredible, Shifu! Let that be a lesson to you, thief! Steal from me again, and I'll take it out of your hide!
Tell me, why take without paying what is due?
I cannot pay because I have no job. No one will hire me. I have no skills, no trade. My words are poor. But my body is big, as is my hunger. I must eat.
Young man, do not bemoan your body. It is a gift.
Huh? But it is why I suffer. Why people laugh and call me names. How is that a gift?
Because, young man, it makes you wonderful and unique. But it is for you to decide whether you will embrace your potential or deny it in shame.
Potential? You think I have potential?
You move with the swiftness of a man half your size.
Practice. After I eat, I must run.
Come with me, and I'll see that you never want for food. All I ask in return is that you take part in a few training exercises. Think of it as a job, if you like, and your meals the payment.
A job? I've always wanted a job. Thank you, Shifu. I accept.
Tell me, what is your name?
Hong Haka. When do we start? And when do we eat? Ha ha!
Hong Haka has become the newest disciple.
Well, it looks as though I've found my 3 disciples. I'm afraid my school has seen better days, but it will suffice. Come, let us go and begin your training at once.
Now everyone can enjoy Hoi's soup dumplings again. Go and ask the Shifu to train you. Can't wait to get my hands on another dumpling. Have you heard? There's sickness in Wong. I sincerely hope it doesn't spread here too. Now everyone can enjoy Hoi's soup dumplings again. Hoi's restaurant is the most popular in Yunfa. Here's hoping we'll see more business in the days ahead. Take this with my thanks. If it isn't a pork bun. A youth with a hearty appetite should eat their fill. Why don't you have this? A porcelain bowl. A man who never eats soup dumplings is never a whole man. That glutton ate every last one of my soup dumplings. It'll take ages to prepare another batch. I'm out of ingredients. I'm sure the markets will be busier than we ever than before. Shifu, you've returned. It's good to see you. It's been a while since you last visited Shifu. I almost missed this guy. Blends in. Markets will prosper again thanks to you, Shifu. Why don't you have this? A red bean bun. So anyway, now that we have Hong, I can go ahead and equip him. Porcelain bowl. I guess it's better as a shield or something. Yeah. So we can give him the iron walk and the Chilean boots. Doesn't really matter what happens with them. So this part has not been tested yet to see if there's a way for them to gain moves. How to put it? They're going to get EXP for training. And you want them to start as early as possible. The weird one being Yoon, because his growth is weird. That's why I try to mention his stats are really high. I walked past the cottage. I'm not even paying attention. But the risk... Like with him, you have to balance stats and moves. It's possible there's a way to optimize it in the Super Nintendo version that they have published. It's just for Lei and Hong, you have to give priority to the moves. And if you don't, you risk losing out on something permanently, which could be a good move. And some of the students have the same, like they have shared moves, and some have unique ones. They have more unique than shared, I think.
I bid you welcome to my school.
You weren't kidding when you said it had seen better days.
So this is where I'll learn Kung Fu.
But first we eat, yes? We cannot train if we do not eat, surely. At least a little, yes?
No, we must begin training immediately.
But, Shifu!
This place was further up the mountain than I expected. Maybe we should rest a bit?
Listen to yourselves, whimpering children. Bring it on, old man. I'm ready.
We shall begin by assessing your present strength and skill.
I'll go first.
As you wish, Lei. Now, come at me with all your might.
You asked for it?
Not really sure why this is necessary since we beat down all three of them. Or no, we only beat down two of them. We didn't beat down the small fry yet. What is she weak to? She doesn't really have weakness.
Wise fox knows many secrets.
Not good.
Oh, she can't move anymore. So I could just walk away and pelt her from a distance until she gets her debuff removed. Oh, there goes the arm. I don't think she can actually do anything anymore.
I see! You did well.
Not again.
Who is next?
I am. The sooner I fight, the sooner I eat, yes?
Through a straw.
When today's training is done, you may eat to your heart's content.
Sounds good to me.
Wise fox knows many secrets.
I don't feel so good.
You've much to learn.
Huh?
You did well.
No more.
Well fought. Now, Yun, if you are afraid, then you may leave. There is no disgrace.
No, I'll face you.
Then come at me without hesitation, without mercy.
Okay.
Not very convincing, dude. He resists fire.
I see! You did well. You've all exceeded my expectations. I have to say, this is the most fun I've had in years. Who'd have thought I'd find 3 promising disciples so quickly? I've not felt this tired in a long time. But it is a welcome fatigue. Hong? What's wrong?
So hungry. Food.
Hong, even after all that, you still have cravings?
Reminds me of the Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy with the acupuncture.
Now then, it is vital that we improve your stamina. The air here at the summit is very thin. So you'll have to expend twice as much effort during your training. 4 bouts is our limit for today, I would say. With whom shall I start?
Whoever you give the most training sessions to is your disciple. And they mentioned they level up, they gain new abilities, and so on.
I'll earn my meal today.
Rest for a second.
Rest for now.
But the more I fight...
So, just in case something goes wrong, you do want to save here. I'm actually good to save over this one. Yeah, we have a full 4-man party now that I think about it.
I'll earn my...
Show me what you can do.
With the ferocity of a lion. Here I go! Not quite. What?
Ah, debuffed him too.
You've much to learn.
I don't feel so good.
Didn't he have 280 HP last time?
Enough.
And the fade away. 5 physical defense.
3 more rounds is enough.
I'll earn my...
Oh, yes, you will, Hong.
Show me what you can do.
So I'm just hitting him with a variety of moves to hope that one sticks.
Enough.
I need to pull up a list of their
don't feel
moves to
so
see
good.
what all they can and can't get.
With the ferocity of a lion. The longest journey begins with but a single step. Ha ha!
So you got the first step.
Excellent. Much better than I expected. 2 more rounds should suffice.
I just want to see if there's a difference between the two. Action, reaction. Compared to this, that's just a reaction. So yeah, it looks like most of his stuff can serve as a counterattack.
I'll earn...
Show me what you can do.
Enough.
I don't feel so good.
You've much to learn.
Really shouldn't.
What? Wise folks, there's many secrets.
One more round.
I'll earn my...
Show me what you can do.
I'm going to be taking a break after this one, though. So, last round. Yeah, his HP seems to be a little dynamic.
I don't feel so good.
should level up here, so I'm hoping he's going to pick up one of these moves. I don't know if you can get all of the Shifu moves or just certain ones, so gotta kind of play it by ear.
Enough!
I don't feel so good.
I see!
Well, he finally got us.
Even the most mighty can be restrained.
Okay, he got the rebuke move.
I think that will do for today. That's all for today. Tomorrow, we will train elsewhere. Now go and take a well-earned rest. Today, we'll be training to improve your speed and agility.
Speed is not my strength.
There's something odd about this ground. It seems hard to move around on.
This will be easy. I know this place like the back of my hand.
Then, let's begin.
Okay, time for the next set of lessons. I went ahead and
We'll
looked
learn
up.
to move quickly.
Show me what you've learned.
Show me what you have learned.
They can learn anything. Pretty much all the master's moves. The hard one's the counterattack. So I'm going to try just repeatedly knocking him back until he uses a ranged move. Wow.
Enough!
I don't feel so good.
I'm gonna do the monkey one, see if this will still generate the distance I
The
need.
monkey's speed is mine.
Oh, I need to teach him this first, don't I? That way he does have a ranged move to use.
You've mushed! I see!
Two more of those will do
so
it.
good.
And then the thing is, he only learns if he levels up, so this could be for nothing.
Here I go!
Not quite!
So yeah, that was for nothing. I don't even think he's gonna level up after the next training either.
3 more rounds should do it.
I will learn to move quickly.
Show me what you have learned.
You've mushed! Enough!
I don't feel so good.
And I'm just gonna keep spamming this for now. I wouldn't mind if he learns this, it's a pretty good move overall.
The wise fox has many secrets.
Let's gamble a bit. In the off chance he does level up here, but 5 points left. That's what I was afraid of.
No slacking now. We're just getting started. 2 more rounds.
I will learn to move quickly.
Show me what you have learned.
I also haven't been paying attention to his hit points either, just see how much they change.
The wise fox has many secrets.
I don't feel so good.
You've much to learn. The wise fox has many secrets.
I don't feel so good.
That will knock him out. I was hoping it'd be more than 20. Well, we got the paralysis, so that's good enough. One hit point left. Got Lion's dismissal.
One more round.
I will learn to move quickly.
Show me what you have learned.
Mainly fishing for paralysis here.
Enough.
Here I go!
You've much to learn.
Okay, we finally got the disarm to connect.
The wise fox has many secrets.
No leg move that time.
You've much to learn.
But yeah, he really does need those speed boosts.
I think that will do for today. My students are eager, and though they would never admit it themselves, I fear I pushed them too hard today. I should go and see how they are doing. Ah, they must be truly exhausted to sleep so soundly on such a hard floor. Where is Yun?
Hong has his strength. Lei has her speed. I've got to find an edge. I can't lose to them.
Oh, Yun. Well done, everyone. You have all demonstrated sufficient mastery of the fundamentals. Henceforth, we will face one another not in sparring matches, but in true contest of strength. In so doing, you will learn to draw upon the power within.
Now this is what I've been waiting for.
If we win, we will be rewarded? With a feast?
In a real battle, your opponent will be fighting to kill. Which is why I shall be holding nothing back today. If all become much stronger, I can manage 4 rounds at best. Now, who shall I challenge first?
So it's locked into Haka for me no matter what at this point. Just trying to get a... yeah.
Today, I hunger for victory!
Show me your all. Step right as a chipmunk.
Only 5.
You've much to
Holy
I
crap.
don't feel so good.
enough.
Didn't get his legs yet.
A wise fox knows many secrets.
Well, it's nice that he's using other stuff, I guess.
The longest journey begins with but a single step.
Oh, he gets the counter, but I don't.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I can't afford this.
That's good. Oh, what's this now?
So it would have been nice if, you know, the thing had actually kicked in for me.
You've much to learn. Really shouldn't.
What?
My sentiment exactly.
Enough.
Five physical attack. So that means the next fight he's going to be hitting me even harder.
Still 3 more rounds to go.
Today, I
Show me your all.
Okay, I'm starting to wonder if I need to rely on cheese strats here.
A wise fox knows many secrets.
Okay, we got both bound, otherwise he could kick me with the Traveler's Step.
Enough.
I don't feel so good.
You've much to learn.
I also did look at the wiki to see like what the odds of applying some of this stuff are, and it didn't say anything. It's just prior to this I was thinking maybe I got really lucky, but here I've gotten them consistently and I don't really know why.
Enough.
2 more to go.
That's 2 down and 2 to go.
Today, I hunger for victory.
Show me your all.
Now I know Hong himself is supposed to be a reference to a sumo wrestler. I forgot the guy's name.
Enough.
I don't feel so
He
good.
can still kick.
You've much to learn. Enough! You've marched!
I don't feel
Now he
so
can't
good.
kick anymore, but he can punch again.
Enough!
Okay, he might not level up after this next one either.
Just one more.
Today, I hunger for victory.
Show me your all.
You've marched!
Okay, he can't kick, but he can still punch.
Enough!
I don't
Now he can't
feel
do
so
either.
good.
The wise fox knows many secrets. You've marched!
So he basically got 60 points worth of stats across all these sessions.
That's all for today.
Shifu!
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Rather, take heart. For my exhaustion is welcome evidence of your tremendous improvement. I'm in need of rest. If you would excuse me.
In time, all that begins must come to an end. One morning, the Shifu realized he had little left to pass on to his disciples. And that their long days spent training would soon be a thing of the past.
Today's lesson is perhaps the most important. Listen well. You have all become very strong indeed. But remember, true strength is more than the power to defeat your enemy. It is the power to defend yourself and that which you hold dear.
Shifu! Shifu!
It's you! Whatever happened, I didn't do it.
I'm not here for you! Bandits from Wong, they're terrorizing the people of Yuefa!
Bandits from one, you say?
It must be Sun Tzu Wong and his gang. They probably thought they could go to Yuinfa and carry on like before without attracting your notice. I'll deal with them.
You will do no such thing. Strong as you've grown, it will be foolish and reckless. Do not misunderstand. I dare say you could defeat one and his entourage. But what will happen then? Others will come and the people of Yunfa will suffer. Violence begets violence. Hate breeds hate. You have all honed your bodies and minds, but your hearts are yet wanting.
But, Shifu!
Fear not. I shall go to Yunfa. You three are to remain here and continue your training. Is that clear?
Yes, Shifu.
So you can see they're out of the party. Yeah, I don't even have anything for him. Quickly, Shifu, you must hurry.
I know. Stay here and train, right?
I'm sorry, Shifu. I did not mean to speak out of turn. Please, take care.
We'll be waiting for you, Shifu.
So we need to go, I think, over here. Yeah, that's even on the map. I kind of forgot that existed there for a moment. So we're getting close to the end of the chapter, believe it or not. It's going to get to a part where it's going to be extremely combat intensive, so just be aware of that. There's no telling what those bandits will do if you don't stop them. Please, Shifu, you have to do something about those bandits. Shifu, thank goodness, the bandits are further up the street. There's no telling what those bandits will do if you don't stop them.
Oh, there's wine galore!
Bandits are further up the street. No telling what they'll do. Further up the street.
And enough food for an emperor's banquet.
And plenty of women to keep us company.
Okay, that's different. Get away. Can't speak to the one over there.
It's the Shifu. Why not stay a while, sweetie? Hey, it's him.
Yeah. Shifu, what are you doing here?
I ask you to leave this place at once. I do not wish to hurt anyone. Not even you.
Don't be so quick to presume it'll be the same as before. I now follow the teachings of the Indomitable Fist. I have endured training more rigorous and relentless than you can possibly imagine. Allow me to show you the new techniques I have learned.
So we're still up against the same clowns.
You've marched!
You think you're winning, do you? I've lost.
Gonna do this one just to burn his turn.
The monkey's
Or
speed
kill him
is
outright,
mine.
never mind.
That's all, then.
Impossible. How could I lose again? This isn't over, old man. Old-Wan Li will put pay to you in that rotting shack you call a school. Mark my words!
Brother!
Old-Wan Li. Does he lead this indomitable feast?
You did it! I knew we could count on you, Shifu!
Anyway, usually when you get the OD name drop, that's your clue it's near the end. Let me give you something special to show my appreciation, if you'll come this way. Young lady, If your intention is what I suspect, then I fear I must refuse. Truly, I must. This is too much. What a lovely, magnificent peach bun. You're too kind. Thank you so much, Shifu. This is for you. A panda charm. Thank you, Shifu. Please take this. A chow chow charm, I think it was. Get away from me. I'm sorry, Shifu thought you were some creepy old man. And she repeats that, so does he. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shifu. Cooked up another batch of my famed steam buns. Take one. Fizz in a soup dumpling. Cannot thank you enough. Take this with my thanks. A pork bun. Scroll of Martial Secrets. You're incredible, Shifu. Take this with my thanks. A pork bun. I couldn't read that. I pushed it too fast. Something about better days. Consider this a token of my appreciation if it's in a pot lid. We owe you our lives, Shifu. You've more than earned this. A Beijing pot. You've saved us, Shifu. It's not much, but you deserve it. A bottle of tiguanine? I don't know what that is, or if I even should know what that is. Would that we had 100 like you, Shifu, and that I had more than this to offer you in gratitude. A red bean bun. The markets will prosper again thanks to you, Shifu. You're too kind, Shifu. However can we repay you? It's not much, please take this. A tiger glove. I cannot thank you enough, Shifu. Allow me to give you this gift. A set of tiger attire. So I'm going to set up equipment once we get back to the group and get ready to go face Odie Wanli. But really quick chapter, but pretty important because you need to decide who you want your successor to be, especially if you're going to use them in the final fight. And I should point out, you may have noticed something a little peculiar here. Huh. What did those guys do while I was away? Did they leave the oven on?
Yun! 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 Lei! Stay with me, Lei! Lei! Home!
Shifu.
What happened here?
Men came. The indomitable fist. Many men, very strong. They killed Yun and Lei. I was afraid. So afraid I hid and closed my eyes.
There will be a reckoning. The indomitable fist will answer for their deeds this day. Yun, Lei, I am truly sorry. Neither of you deserved this fate. My time draws near, and I shall join you both before long. Until then, rest peacefully. Pay attention, miss nothing. Observe everything. My strength wanes, and so I may be able to perform this only once. Every breath carefully drawn. Every movement subtle and sudden. The culmination of my life and my art. mind's eye, an open heart. Mark well and learn.
Shifu!
This technique is my greatest secret. Heavenly Peak's descent. Strong as you've become, you cannot yet perform such a complicated attack. Yet perhaps, in welcoming wisdom into your heart and soul, when the time is right, it will be yours to wield. Quite soon, I think, given the prodigious skill you have demonstrated already. That's all for today. Now rest. You have earned it.
Where are you going now?
To pay my respects to the students I could not save.
So their grave should be up here. I wonder if he lied to him just so he could say that and then go face off against Odi-Wan Lee.
I pushed you to confront and overcome your fears, to have confidence. But in the end, Yun, little Yun, I am truly sorry. You are not one to be content with a normal life, to live like other young women. It was not your failing to want more. It was mine for not preparing you better. I'm so sorry, Lei.
Okay, let's head on in. They were kind enough to leave us a trail to follow. We'll just say it's the ancient version of a red carpet. So there seems to be a strange lack of tigers here, don't you think? Cats meowing in agreement.
What do you want, old man?
This is no place for the likes of you.
And yet, this old man must pass. For he has business with your master. Enough! You did well.
Who do you think you are? A boy, alone, challenging the might of the indomitable fist? Speak!
Forgotten me, have you?
You're the Watanabe kid, aren't you?
Long have I waited for this day. The day I finally avenged my father. I've trained relentlessly, till my hands were raw and bloody, to master my art. And now, I shall slake my thirst for revenge! With the secret technique of the Watanabe! Calamitous Rage!
And that's your Watanabe scene of the chapter, folks. Only appears if you have Hong as your disciple, apparently. In case you're wondering why you couldn't get it yourself, and you went with Lei or Yoon.
It's him! The Shifu! Whoever deals the finishing blow will be well rewarded! Go!
You've much to learn.
Anyway, these guys are all garbage mobs, so yeah.
No, no.
That's good enough.
Enough. I'm sorry. That's all, then.
Just think, after all that training with Hong, this is so much easier.
Release the tigers! Quickly!
Oh, they're surrounding me. Pair of weathered boots. Peach bun, nothing. Pair of keyring boots. I do have some accessories.
Shifu!
This isn't good. There are so many, but I must save the last of my strengths for Lee. And these old bones must endure a little longer.
What was that? An earthquake? Here I come!
Home!
Shifu, it was me. I killed them. Lei and Yun died because I was weak. But now, I am strong. Now I must fight!
Oh, you fool. So be it. With me, home. Enough!
They barely held on. So keep in mind, Hong should be stronger than the teacher at this point. He is weak to fire and hammer. I do not have any of those. Yeah, that was a waste. I don't know if we're even going to be able to do the stuff that Hong can do later in this chapter. So now that Hong has witnessed that, he can actually learn that, I believe. But once again, I don't think it can happen in this chapter unless I do a lot of grinding. You lose your balance for that one.
Stand right as a chipmunk.
I don't feel so good.
Take this! And that! And this!
Pretty decent.
That's all, then.
Ha-ha! I hope I made you proud, Shifu.
Monkey's withdrawal learned. Anyway, now that he's here, we're gonna deck him out. I don't know if losing that attack is bad. I think I'd rather try it like that. Put the bowl on your head. That's cool. Anyway, I'm gonna look around. Okay, I went back and fought the guys that I passed up on the way here to try to level up Hong, but you can see it barely did anything, so I'm hoping that in the next series of fights, we'll be able to put some levels on him. I think his whole gimmick is he comes in late, bottle gourds, that's a consumable, and a pork bun. And the whole point of the late entry is why the Watanabe scene happens. Lei and Yoon would actually come in here with you, but he was the late arrival. Still a ways to go on the level up, sadly.
Welcome, Shifu.
This is the end, by the way.
You are the master here. O.D. Wan Li, I challenge you.
We meet at last. I see you have brought your surviving student. I must say, I'm impressed you have made it this far. A man of your age. But you'll find the fighters here are made of sterner stuff than the youthful dross you dispatched. Against their combined strength, you would not stand a chance. But a man of honor would never stoop to such cowardly methods.
You lie! You sent more men than this to attack us! To kill us!
Ah, that. That was a discordant rabble. They rely on numbers to carry out their tasks, yet still fail to do so all too often. So, by way of apology, I shall deal with you fairly and justly today. I present to you your opponents. Senshi and Sushi. Ishi and Ershi. Tongcha, Sha-cha. Nancha, Pei-cha. Ten. Lin. Shen, Sisters 3. And finally, Yi Pei Ko. You shall fight all in turn. Defeat them, and I will accept your challenge. And now, let the revelry of blood begin!
Well, let's get the show on the road. So this is what I meant by it gets pretty combat intensive. Ironically, the bow and arrow would be the one that does the most.
I am Sushi, and you are mine.
So Monkey's Withdrawal would be the best bet into him.
It's Sanshi's time to shine. Take this!
I don't know if that would finish him off. It's not a Wilhelm scream, but we'll work with it.
That's all, then.
Barely anything, man.
You've much to...
Huh? Ishi is number one!
Did I do that?
Ah!
Soon all will know the name Urshi.
Screw it. I don't know what it is that determines the number of steps exactly. That's the single most important Haka move. This guy's weak to fists. Huh.
I see!
Not really. Hoping these are worth a little bit more.
Okay.
About the same.
You should feel honored to die by Tongcha's hand.
Huh. What's this now?
Old guys will end up okay.
The monkey's speed is mine.
I am Cha-Cha. Remember the name. Hold still.
Oh! Take this! And that! And this!
Use this and dip out. Yeah, there's no chance of this killing him. We should have him with this. Got a soup dumpling. I don't know, maybe I can't hit level 10 before we have to face off against Obi-Wan Lee. Weak to punching. Which barely does anything.
That was good.
Nanta will be your doom.
Huh? Even the most mighty can be restrained.
Barely anything.
Yeah.
You've marched. Oh,
It's like they really have it out. I don't know.
enough.
I come for you. Pei-Cha will be your death.
Yep, he's actually down. It's weak to fire. Got one of the debuffs.
Death comes for you.
Back.
I don't think you can get any of these moves blue magic wise. Got it. Okay, we're done with the sumo guys now.
Okay.
It's like a weight off my chest, you know? Yes, I went there.
Interesting. You more than live up to your reputation, Shifu. But how will you fare against the Sisters 3? Let us see.
Don't have any water, but I can do this one still.
I, Shen, will be the one to defeat you. Ta!
Not too bad.
I see. Did I do that?
I am Chen, the one who will take your life.
The longest journey begins with but a single step.
Lin's the name, and killing's my game. Ta!
Ah, not quite.
He can shrug that off. Kingfisher's a type of bird, if I remember correctly. Let's go with this one for the moment.
One piece of speed is mine.
No way! I'm the Kingfisher speed!
You really shouldn't.
Jeez. Fragile as glass, man. The thing is, I think Hong's move is gonna miss because she moved. They target the squares, not the people, like in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Follow my blade if you can.
I just know she only has 8 HP. Anything will work.
Okay! Ha-ha! I hope I've made you proud, Shifu.
Chipmunk's Delight, which is pretty good. That way it's a ranged move.
Impressive. You've put on quite a show, Shifu. It has been too long since you faced a proper opponent. Enjoy it, Pei Ko.
Resist quite a bit.
You've marched.
No luck with this, though. He actually has HP, too. So I just want to make sure I'm not going to use something that he resists. And it looks like he does resist everything I've got.
Wise folks, there's many secrets.
This one's just a bit of a slug. Jerk.
Flesh is no match for spirit.
Only 23.
As graceful as the crane.
That did nothing.
This will hurt. As the clouds yield to the midday moon. Step right as the chipmunk.
Fitting number for a finale.
Forgive me, Masali. Ha-ha!
Okay, he was worth a little bit. Okay, let's bring this chapter to an end.
Forgive me, but I neglected to introduce Soju and Mandu, my elite guard, trained assassins who shadow my every step. I dare say they would have a fighting chance against me were they to grow ambitious. Thus do I keep them close, that I must remain on guard every moment. We of the Indomitable Fist eschew such things as trust and camaraderie. For sentiment is the enemy of strength. Attachments bind lesser men and prevent them from attaining true power.
Home. I will handle the assassins. And you, my disciple. You will fight O.D. Wan Li.
But he's so strong.
Li's intent from the first has been to wear us down, bit by bit. He knows my strengths will not last, but he does not know your potential. Remember, your comrades laid to rest atop Mount Aspiration. And my final gift to you, my final teaching. Every breath carefully drawn. Every movement subtle and sudden. The culmination of my life and my art. With mind's eye and open heart. Mark well and learn.
I remember, Shifu.
So, rather than fight me yourself, you send this child in your place? I expected an old fool, but an old coward. Huh.
Laugh at me all you like. You are not the first. But I will not let you mock my master!
So tell me, child, are you so eager to die? What's this?
Lei, Yun, this is for you! Shifu's greatest secret!
A desperate bluff.
Heavenly peaks descend!
O.D. Wan Li. And yes, we have it. Damage massive.
Don't worry. Your Shifu will join you soon after.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah, that one might be a little bit better in terms of range move, but it's only a straight line, sadly.
Did I do that? Now's my chance!
Embrace the wolf within!
Not too many safe spaces around him, as you can tell.
Take this! And that! And this!
You proved a better challenge than I thought.
Not yet. Don't know if this interrupts or not. Apparently the answer is a resounding yes.
Now's my chance!
Pathetic!
You just need one of these to connect.
I see what your master saw in you.
That was a good hit! For you, Shifu!
Bested by this weakling? Bested by this weakling? This cannot be.
Shifu!
Home. Well done. You've become so strong. Stronger than I dared hope.
I may be stronger, but not nearly as strong as you.
I have faith that our art will endure for generations to come. Preserved and protected by you, my worthy successor.
But, Shifu, I don't understand.
Listen, I am old, too old. That I have lived so long is a miracle indeed. In guiding you on this path, I found renewed purpose for a time. Home. Never be ashamed of who you are. Have faith in yourself. Let none deny your worth. If you take but one thing to heart, then let it be this. Your words have value. Speak and be heard.
Thank you, Shifu. I will.
Well then, It's time for me to go and tell Yun and Lei just how much you've grown.
Shifu? Shifu! Shifu, I split the rock. Did you see? All I had to do was believe. But I must do more. I know. And perhaps I must eat less, too. I have faith, Shifu. One day, I will be as strong as you. No. That is wrong. One day, I will surpass you. I promise. I swear. To all of you. To Lei, to Yun, and to you, Shifu. I will carry on our legacy. I will be the Shifu!
And there you have it, the end of the Imperial China chapter. So right there you can see the voice actors. I haven't really been paying attention to see if they do multiple characters or if they just have one go at it. But very small cast and a somewhat short chapter. It's just you won't see until the finale why I chose Hong as my successor. One annoying fight that you can just cheese the hell out of. But in all seriousness, there's a case we made for all three. They all have their own unique niches, and it really depends on who you want to use as your final party as to which successor to take. With the wide variety of moves they have, they're pretty flexible and they can fit into a lot of team comps, especially if you choose one that actually, like, complements the team you have. Yun's grandmother, if you don't remember. So yeah, we won't see until the final chapter on whether or not the whole move thing has been fixed or not. There were a total of 3 fights. I didn't show all of them. I don't even know how many I'm going to show, where Shifu used the unseen arrow over his long-range counter is. So I'm hoping that was enough for Hong to pick it up, and we'll find out, I think, at level 15. As is, I'm kind of leaning towards having the wrestler as my guy going into the finale. Credits here are really long. Were they all like this, or is it just this one has that many more? You can probably skip it, yeah, if you hold ZR.
Ha ha!
Sadly, Hong is not out of the woods yet. Thing I want to see is additional songs been added, additional entries. So yes, he has taken the place of the master here. I was curious if they'd still show the old man or who your apprentice is, or heir, I guess. And we're getting close to being halfway done. So when we pick up next time, we'll be going into the Wild West for the shortest chapter in the game. And then after that, this one. They're both going to be fairly short, so until we hit this one, that's going to be somewhat lengthy. So yeah, see you guys there. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.